Hello, my name is Crag, and I am one of the ancient stone guardians of Devil's Tower. For eons, my brethren, and I have dwelled within this monolithic butte, rising from the plains of Wyoming, silently observing the comings and goings of fragile humans. Though we may appear as mere rock to your kind, we are an ancient race, born in the fires of the earth long before your species took its first feeble steps. Most humans know nothing of our existence as they marvel at the tower's striking vertical furrows and looming presence. Only the native peoples sensed our true nature through the generations, weaving legends of our origin. Little do the tourists and climbers suspect the dark purpose behind our vigilance. You see, Devil's Tower is a place of power and nexus between worlds. In ages past, my kind were charged by forgotten gods to guard this sacred site from incursion by the hungry ones. These vile entities, more ancient than even stone, lurk in dimensions adjacent to your reality, endlessly ravenous. The membrane between planes is thinnest here. Only our ceaseless watchfulness prevents their entry into your world to feast. We are well suited to our duty, for time has little meaning to us. A decade passes in the blink of an eye for a being of living stone. Yet even our resolute purpose can waver across the long ages, especially when tempted by the follies of men. It began some years ago when a man came to climb the tower alone. Though hundreds scale the butte each year, this one was different. A malevolent aura, invisible to human eyes, clung to him like a shroud. As he climbed, the very air around him shimmered with wrongness. I watched, ill at ease, as he ascended. Halfway up the tower, traversing one of the most challenging pitches, the corrupted man slipped and fell, plummeting towards certain death. But as he tumbled past, our gazes met ... and I felt the pull of forgotten sorcery. In that fractured second, the man mouthed words in a forbidden tongue and traced a sigil in the air between us. Unable to look away, I felt the chains of ancient oaths shatter. Against my will, I lashed out and broke his fall, catching him in a massive stone hand. He landed hard and lay broken and bleeding, but alive. A ghastly smile split his face as he beheld me, truly seeing my form. "You are mine now." Creature of stone, he gasped through bloody teeth. Bound by glyph and rune, you must obey. I know the old ways to my horror. I felt the truth of his words. The sigil bound me to his will. Though it went against every fiber of my being, I could not resist. Betrayal welled up inside me, but I was powerless to act upon it. The man, whose name I learned was Nathaniel, commanded me to carry him down, which I did. For weeks he camped at the base of the tower, recovering from his wounds while studying me and probing the limits of his control. I seethed inwardly but could not break his arcane bonds. When he was healed, he revealed his purpose. Nathaniel was a seeker of forbidden lore, and he had long sought entry into the very dimensions my brethren and I guarded against. Devil's Tower was the key, and with one of its guardians enslaved to his will, he finally had the means to unlock the door. Under cover of night, Nathaniel led me to a hidden place within the tower, a chamber I had never known in all my long existence. There he conducted a ritual of blackest magic, channeling power through my enslaved form. I could only watch in mute rage as the veil between worlds began to fray and tear. The hungry ones beyond, ever eager, began to push through even before the portal was fully formed. Nathaniel screamed in triumphant glee, until a writhing tentacle lashed out and eviscerated him where he stood. His control over me snapped like frayed cord. I was free, but far, far too late. The membrane had been pierced, and now the ravenous horde would pour through unchecked. Dozens, then hundreds of misshapen horrors clawed their way into our reality, driven by insatiable hunger. The tower quaked and shuddered around me. I frantically assailed the portal with all my might, pulling tons of rock down to seal it. But it was useless. Far too many had already passed through. With a roar of anger and despair, I raced to the tower's exterior to behold a scene out of darkest nightmare. The hungry ones swarmed out into the night, an army of writhing, shrieking terrors. The other stone guardians fought against the tide, crushing and smashing, but we were hopelessly outnumbered. One by one my brethren fell, pulled down and dismembered by the horde. I wept tears of gravel as I watched them die. It was humanity's saving grace that Devil's Tower is so remote. The hungry ones dispersed into the empty plains and hills before reaching the populated areas. But there was no saving those unfortunate campers, climbers, and local ranchers who crossed their path that night. Their screams still haunt my sleepless days. How many escaped into the wider world, I cannot say. But I know they are still out there, wearing human skins, waiting, hungering. And it is only a matter of time before they can open the way for the rest of their vile kind. With my brother and sister guardians lost, I alone remain to keep vigil over this damned place. I cannot leave the tower undefended, yet I cannot stop those that escaped. I am torn between my sworn duties, and racked with guilt at my failure. In the years since that fateful night, I have seen the signs of their influence spreading like a cancer through your world. Strange disappearances, whispered rumors, a creeping unease that something is terribly wrong beneath the thin veneer of normalcy. They are cunning, these hungry ones. They work from the shadows, slowly eroding the foundations of reason and sanity. They whisper in the dreams of the weak-minded, cultivating cults of depraved worshippers. They manipulate events from behind the scenes, sowing chaos and discord to weaken humanity's defenses. And always, they hunger, waiting for their moment to feast. I have tried to warn the humans who come to the tower, appearing to them in visions and nightmares. But few listen, dismissing my message as mere bad dreams or flights of imagination. Even those who sense the truth can do little against an enemy they cannot see or understand. And so I watch and I wait, steeling myself for the inevitable. The hungry ones grow ever bolder and more numerous. The veil thins further with each passing year. I fear the day will soon come when they no longer need to hide, when they will openly swarm across the earth in a tide of madness and blood. When that day comes, I will make my final stand here at the Devil's Tower. I will call upon every last reserve of my ancient power, every ounce of my stone-born strength, and I will fight. I will crush and grind and pulverize until I am nothing but dust. But I will hold the line for as long as I can. Perhaps it will be enough to buy humanity a little more time to ready their defenses, to find some way to turn back the tide. Or perhaps it will merely be a last defiant gesture in the face of inevitable obliteration. I know not. But this, I do know, I will not go quietly into the long night. I will rage against the dying of the light with every fiber of my being. And if by some miracle we prevail, if the hungry ones are driven back and the membrane sealed once more, then perhaps I will finally know peace. But I do not hope for such a victory. I have seen too much, endured too long, to believe in happy endings. All I can do is fight and warn, and pray that humanity heeds my call before it is too late. So to you, listener, I say this: be wary. Watch the shadows, trust not your senses, and when the hunger comes, as it surely will, fight. Fight with every last scrap of your courage and will. For in the end, that is all that stands between you and the abyss. This is Crag, last Sentinel of the Devil's Tower, signing off. May your gods have mercy on us all.